Hello everyone, this is take 3, so I'm hoping this works. If not, I'm just giving up for the night because I have no idea what to do. Let's just share it. Okay, so hopefully, have I got any watchers? Is there anybody watching? Give me a hi or a thumbs up so I know you're here. Hello, hello, hello. This has been a nightmare. I hope there is people here. This is my third one to have a go at. So it's been traffic me up the wall. I don't know how people do this on a regular basis because the stress is too much. So this is going to take me forever because it's now 10:15. I was meant to be starting the feed at 8:30. And look at the time. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to start some of it, and then I might have to do another live feed tomorrow. Can you say hi if you're here in the comments, please? And then I can see it's telling me there's 4 people watching, but I'm not 100% sure if that's me logged onto it 4 times or not. Okay, so today, anyway, I'm just going to carry on. I'm just going to talk to myself. If they are watching and you want to just lurk, that's fine. But today, as you can see, I am using Black Widow pencils. They're my new faves and I love them. And I've decided to use the new Coloriage Wild by Emmanuel Collin. This is his new book, or most latest book out. I do have them all. And I've decided to use this because I just wanted to practice the Avatar. I love Avatar. It's my favourite all-time film in the world. And I wanted to have a go at some blue, unnatural skin, basically. We're all good at our skin tones and whatnot, but I just wanted something a bit different. So I thought I'd have a go at this and see how it comes out. I'm pretty impressed with it. The only thing is, these Black Widow pencils and this colouring book, I find it really hard. So the base tone for the skin, I'm going to have to lay down the base colour, and I needed to blend it with the odorless pencil blender because there's too much tooth for these pencils. Now, when I coloured in my other picture, let me get this out, with my Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils, I didn't have this problem. So I don't know if it's a different paper. The tooth's slightly thicker in this one. But when I coloured this one with the Caran d'Ache, as you can see, the tooth was, it's either the tooth of the paper is different. I don't know if anybody else has this book and has the same opinion as me, or it's the Black Widow pencils are a bit too waxy for this book, or it could be the way I'm colouring. I have no idea. So anyway, I had to do that with the odorless pencil blender. So I am going to do it on the other copy, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, I'm by all means no professional, and I don't claim to be whatsoever, but I just enjoy colouring, and I'll share that with you. If you want to watch it, you can. Say hi along the way. I will chat. Probably most likely on my own, but let's go. So let me just find the other picture, and then we can get going on it. I didn't want a side one. I wanted one that was facing forward so I can get the effect of the avatar on the actual face. And probably not going to end up being able to do it now. And my normal skin tone, my process of how I would normally do it has gone way out the window. I normally have a rock solid way of doing it that I follow every time I do skin, and this just went way out the window. And you'll probably see as I start colouring, I'll just move it further down so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. And it'll go down. For some reason it's not. I might as well just give up on this tonight, honestly. It's so embarrassing. Hello. Right, we're a bit closer now. So I'm going to be using for the base colour is out of the Scorpion set, and it's the Blue Heaven, actually, not Haven. Got that completely wrong. I like to use my pencils sharp. But like I said, on this paper, it's eaten through. This is probably a full-size pencil. That's how much it's taken just to do the other picture. So this book does eat at your pencils. Have I still got watchers? Nope, I think I'm on my own. So I'll just move these out of the way. I hope everyone's had a lovely Easter. With the current situation, that's not been good at all. So all I'm doing now, I'm just literally putting a base, a very light layer. You could probably just see it on camera. And this is what I'm going to blend out with the odorless pencil blender, just to get rid of, to be honest, this one's not as toothy as that other one, but it's extremely grainy and the pencil's going down, and for skin tone it's just not laying down very well with these pencils. Obviously I'm rotating my pencil as I go because I want to keep that point as much as I can, and I'm basically using long ovals to get myself a nice even coverage, so you can see there's no lines in it as such. And I'll just get a scrap piece of paper and show you exactly what I'm doing what I mean by long ovals. So when I'm doing it, it's a bit like the scumbling technique, but I do longer ovals closer together. so you get a more even coverage. And I'm just going to apply this all over the face, and then I'm going to blend it out with the pencil blender, just so the base colour is nice and even. But like I said, with my Caran d'Ache pencils, I didn't have this problem. I just felt that the pencil wasn't filling the tooth of the paper very well, and it was kind of just gliding over the top of the tooth, which gives this rough texture to it. Obviously, as I get more advanced in my colouring, I would suggest there's probably going to be better ways of doing it. But right now, because I'm so new with these pencils, I'm just going to blend the base layer out. And because she's blue, I'm not going to be using white. On my normal skin tone colours, I'd probably leave like a lighter area here and a lighter area on here. This light blue is my light tone for the skin, because there's 3 other dark blues I'll be using to build this up with. And it dries pretty quick as well. Is there anybody anybody watching? Want to say hi? Then I know you're here. I'm just going to give it a bit more of another layer, just going in a different direction. So I am using the technique in a way of how I would do it normally, which is I would normally go diagonally, horizontally, vertically, and then I would do 3 or 4 layers of that to build up the base colour and the shadows. But just for today, and for quickness as well with the time, I'm going to use the pencil blender just to get me a nice even coverage. But you can see she's coming out pretty blue. But I think this is the only paper that I've used where it's become a nightmare. These pencils, I've absolutely loved them in other books. And I'm sorry if I sound really snuffly. I'm 6 weeks into this cold, whatever it is. I don't think it's coronavirus. It started off as a water infection, then a chest infection, then a virus. And it's been a nightmare for the last 6, nearly 7 weeks. Okay, so we've got a nice layer down there with the light blue. That is the lightest blue. Again, I'll just leave that there so you know what colour I'm using. And I'm just going to get... Now, when you use this, you do apply it with a brush. And make sure, if you do use this, it's got a lovely orange smell, but I just keep it away. I don't actually touch it with my own skin because I have no idea if it would react. And I just keep it well out the way, and I have a window open. I'll just open the curtains a little bit. Not that it's odorless, as in it's not odorless. This one's a zest, but you can get odorless ones. And I'm just going to blend out this base colour with it now. I'm just going to use the same as the pencils, nice circular motions. And what it does, it just smooths out that tooth of that paper. Just if you can see there. It doesn't matter if you're not perfect because you're going to be layering over it anyway. This is just to, I just want to smooth the tooth of the paper, and this helps. I'm not saying it will do this with every book, but for me, it's working better to use that with these particular pencils. Hello, you're right. I seen a bit of your laughing before as I was having a disaster. Deborah. This was really stressing me out. Just finished my stream, wanted to pop on, just say hi and say for as long as thanks, hon. I've not got so many on. You're doing really well on your channel. I'm really impressed. What have you been doing tonight? I did see a little bit of it. We've been using sparkly paints today. This is my first proper colouring. I've been absolutely clearing out my house and everything. I suppose this lockdown's been good for some things. I don't know. A rad word. Oh, is that when you went to America? Probably would count. You'd have seen what they look like then if you've been on a rad that's aimed at them. So that my garden doesn't look so nice. That's one thing I am not. I'm creative with my hands, but not in the garden. Not at all. Not creative at all in the garden. Okay, so that's just smoothed that out. That it'll give me a smoother tooth just for this skin. Because the tooth was too, it just wasn't filling. It was so hard and it took me a while to do. So make sure my lid's on. If you do get that on your hands, make sure you wash your hands. I've literally been bottoming my house, every room, but then this shut the tip, so I can't go and take the stuff. So my shed's been filled full of the stuff I've took out my house in bags. But it's nice. So what I'm going to do now is start building up the face. And let's see which one I'm using now. So I'm moving on to Forget Me Not, and this is out of the Spider set. And all I'm doing here is following basically where the grayscale is of the picture. And because I've used the blender solution, it's a lot smoother now, and I feel like I've got more control of my pencil, where before it just didn't feel like it was doing anything. Zesty, I bloody hate the smell of that. I have the odorless. Bugs and dirt. That's what I'm like. See, I'm sure I saw one of them false widows in my garden. I took a picture of it and I freaked out because it was under my foot. So I'm same with bugs. I absolutely hate them. Do you know what? I quite like the smell of the orange. It's just, I don't like chemicals and stuff like that. They make me paranoid. So because I don't know much about them, I'm like, oh, stay away, stay over there. and then I hide it so my kids don't go anywhere near it. But this skin's a new adventure for me because I don't really go out to my comfort zone, and I just keep doing skin. So I thought, you know what, I'm just having a bash at doing more fantasy like skins. I think the next one will be a purple one. I'm a bit scared of green. How are your kids coping in the lockdown? And they're not. That's pure. Kian, my youngest, he's got autism. He is not. He's just not. It's been awful. He's been having multiple breakdowns, as we call them, where he'll squawk and scream at everyone for hours. It's been really bad. And then we're trying to get him to do the work that school wants him to do, and he's just going mad, saying this is not where we do work. We do that at school, and it's a shame. It's a shame on everyone, really. It's a big difference for everyone. Well, got to get used to it, I suppose. It is. Oh, and I had to play around on YouTube, and then I found the resolutions and stuff now for this video, and I know what I'm kind of doing of a fashion, she says. After my disaster today. So all I'm doing now, I'm just literally putting in, it does look a mess. Face and skin always looks a mess. Just keep telling yourself it's not going to last. Do you know, I hope it's not. It scares me. I really don't. You hear one thing and you think, oh, it's good. And then you hear somebody else telling you something different. And, oh, it's got to last 12 months. And then it's got to last 10. And do you know, I've had to stop watching the news because it's just scaring me. And I think they're just telling us scary stuff more to make sure we all stay in. I'm staying in. I'm doing my part. But I do think a lot of it is scaremongering, and they're not going to tell us we're doing better, because the minute they tell us we're doing better, people are going to start going out. And I think they don't want that at all. So don't worry at this point. If you're following along with me, or you do decide to follow along with me, your skin always looks horrendous till you blend it out at the end. I couldn't help, I just found it by mistake and watch videos. Oh, it definitely is. I just think, I mean, I know it's hard for teenagers because they get bored, but so do we. We're all getting bored. And if we all have to do it, then we've all got to do it. If they've got to stay in, they've got to stay in. It's simple as that. It's frustrating when, people aren't doing what they're told to do. But tell you what's become my best friend, video chat. I have not been off video chat, honestly. I really haven't. So now I'm going to go back in with my lightest colour. Just before I do that, I just want to give this a bit more of an edge to blend out. Just a really light edge here to help with the blend. And I'm going back to the Blue Heaven, and I'm going to go in an opposite direction, still using the long ovals. And I'm just going to use that direction the whole way across the face. And this helps give, by doing your different directions, it helps give a more smoother finish. Some like to do the scumbling effect. I just can't do it. I think I'm too heavy-handed. And when I found this technique, it's just helped me out a lot more than I ever thought it would. I just thought that I'm never going to find a technique that's helping me with skin. But now I have. Alexandra Park. I heard, let me just catch up. Went for a walk this morning and you meant to. I heard from a family of a friend, Ali Park in Penn was full the other day. Ridiculous. I don't live so far away from Alexandra Park, but I haven't been past. But I can imagine it is. Because obviously there's, as you know, I've got 4 kids. So when me and my husband go out with my kids, there's 6 of us and 2 dogs. And I think everyone's got to think I'm like meeting up with other people because we look like a crowd walking down the street. And then I see these big groups of teenagers and I'm walking down the street, literally separating me and my kids. So 2 kids go with my husband and 2 are going with me. Just so it doesn't look like we're a big group walking down the street. But then you've got people that are just blatantly not even bothered. There's people, I've seen people around here and they're having parties in the back gardens and stuff like that, and it's just not on. We're all supposed to be doing it together. I know the kids are getting bored, but this is what we have to do, unfortunately. And if we don't start doing it, we're going to be here for longer, aren't we? Yeah, we are. My kids have been wearing masks. It's hilarious. And then my daughter, she had this mask on. And there was these people and she covered her face. So she really wanted to wear the mask, but then she must have felt embarrassed. Okay, so now I'm going back to the forget-me-not. And then I'll be going in a different direction. So now I'll be going, just going that way. So I'll be doing the same as what I've just done, and I'm going to go this way. And the more you do it, you see the white bits filling in. And I'm holding my pencil towards the middle, so I'm not using a lot of pressure at all. It's just building up them layers and building up and building up. I can't believe my dad's still in work and the butchers thought that may have been one of the first to close. Oh, which butcher's one in Penn? My husband's still having work, he's a bus driver. And he's carting everyone to and from work up in Liverpool. So he's on a strict regime when he comes home. I've got a tub behind my front door that he has to put his shoes in. And he has to spray the bottom of them with bleach. And then he has to go upstairs, get out of his uniform, get in the shower, get in his own clothes. And then his work stuff goes straight in the washing machine. Straight in the washing machine, and then I feel safe then. Mathers, which one is that? I don't know the names of them. I just know there's one on Ormskirk Road, about halfway up near that, not far up from that and car wash. And then there's one in actual Penn Centre at top. But they're a food, aren't they? So the class is an essential, aren't they? So I suppose that's why they're still open. I know a lot of the pie shops have shut. That's the one on Ormskirk Road. Ah, is it the ones that does the dead good sizzlers? Or is it the one further? I think probably the one further up. So obviously my light source is coming over from my left, so onto the face this way. So everything that would to the bird is casting a shadow, a hair's casting a shadow, a nose is casting a shadow. So hence why this is where I'm doing all these shadows, and I'm constantly rotating my pencil. I hope my camera's not wobbling. My stand, for some whatever reason, has started touching my table. Just having a disaster today. But hey ho. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the Blue Heaven. I know it's a lot of swapping and changing, and this time we're going horizontally in long ovals again from the corner, blending out. Just seeing how that's looking on camera. Actually, I've not actually looked at the camera, I'm just looking at my chat and then I'm looking back at my page. Good butt is from there. Or is it looking alright? It just does on my laptop. It looks dead dull, but to you, it probably doesn't look really dull. So I'm just going off what I'm seeing in my own eye, but I can see it's blending nicely. But it does make me think: does it look right on there? It happens with me, don't worry. We can actually see what you can see. Oh, that's brilliant. So it does look actually better than it looks on my screen. Do you know, the other day I was laughing at myself. I absolutely howled laughing. I was sitting here when I first went on YouTube live on my laptop and looking at it and going, why is everything reversed? Why is my writing the wrong way around? Why can you read it from back to front and not front to back? And I was like, this is dead weird. And I'm sat holding my webcam and I'm moving it around and switching it about and I'm going, that's not right. And then I picked my phone up and I looked at the feed and it was the right way around. It's because this is my feed to you lot into on this screen, and it really stressed me out. Oh my god! And I just let my husband later and he went, "Oh my god, Michelle, you were right numpty." I said, "I know." Honestly, it was really stressing me out because I was thinking it's the wrong way around, and everyone's got to read my signs the wrong way around. Oh my lord! I just wish my voice had come back 100%. I'm 1 minute I'm all right, back to me, and then next minute I'm back husky again, and then if I laugh, it might completely go. It's been hard work. If you can hear snoring in the background, my daughter's gone to sleep on the bed. She's knackered because my youngest daughter woke them all up at 6:30. 6:30 for chocolate eggs. Just take some learning this YouTube thing. You'll be a pro before you know it. I hope so. I hope I get more watches eventually, because it does seem to be when you do lives on YouTube, you do get more subscribers that way than you do just asking people to subscribe. So I thought I just need to take the plunge and do it, but it's scary doing it on YouTube because it's bigger. It's bigger than my little group on Facebook. The little group on Facebook are quite friendly. Okay. So now I'm going back to the forget me not. I'm just going, these are just building your layers again, building them up and building them up. Seems really repetitive, but it's how you get your finishes. It's why it takes me up a full week sometimes to do the one colouring, because I like working in layers. So now I'm just going to change this to this direction. I think this will be the last layer, and then I'll blend it out again with the blender, because it's starting to bloom a bit now, so it's not taking as much as I would like it to. It's hard to describe how it works until you have done it, but there's loads of friendly people here. I've made some fantastic friends. Oh, I hope so. I'm looking forward to growing my channel more. It's just lately I've been that unwell that I just thought I've just not got time to do that and get myself well. So I just thought get myself better and then I can start building stuff up again. Because it did really well when I first started. I mean, I know I've only got 70 something subscribers, but it did really well. I got them pretty quick, but then my Facebook group took over and spend more time on there than I actually do on here. So I think now I'm going to blend that out. With the zest again, which will help fill that gap. I've been loving watching your watercolour stuff, Deborah. That's my thing for this year, I think. I wanted to start doing. I love watercolour, but it scares me sometimes. Because it can play silly buggers with you when it wants to. I always find it easier to pull the dark into the light when I'm doing this, but it seems to be not working for me. I hate lives for this reason. When you're at home, you can just fix it yourself. No one's watching. You've got the eyes watching you everywhere on here. It's just over 7 months of working hard on video streams, comments, etc. to get where I am now. Just keep at it. Or buy the Prima palettes. You'll love them. Which ones are them? I know I've seen some metallic ones. I can't remember. It's called Kathy that makes them. But they work out quite deep. I like having a variety of colours. I can't just have a few. So I didn't end up buying them. I'll have to have a look on your page and see what they are. Need to get some. I do have just some cheap watercolours. So I'll have a good practice. I think these books are good with watercolours, what I'm using. Try and concentrate with this. That's why I'm a bit quiet, because I've gone out at lines a few places and it really frustrates me when I do that. I'm not too worried if it doesn't look the best blend because I will be blending it out more with my pencils. So I'm going back over with my lightest colour again, which is Blue Haven out the Scorpion set. No problem. Good night, love. And I'll speak to you soon. And I'll check them watercolours out. So again, I'm just using the long ovals. And I'm just going over that, what I've just blended out. It just helps with the tooth of this paper for me. I think out of the whole colouring, I think Skin is the hardest. I'm not going to lie, I do find Skin the hardest out of all of them to do, and especially when you start doing it in these odd colours, because you just get used to doing it in your natural skin tones, but when you start doing fantasy ones, it's harder. And this pencil is wearing away some really thin. I think next time I'll do it a little earlier in the day. But that line's starting to blend out now. Getting a more even coverage now. I can't see very little white now of the page. It's actually going into the tooth of the paper really well. And I've left the bottom of the nose because the avatar's noses are they're pink. So we'll be doing that a different colour shortly. Oh. All I'm doing is just concentrating now on that blend line, really getting rid of any. I don't want a noticeable line. If we go out the lines, what we really rub out pretty well, these pencils. just get the forget-me-not back on now. And just go back in and just tickle over that blend line again, just to give it my daughter's asleep on the bed over there and she just made the weirdest noise. Well, a lot of people seem to ask how you make the colour pop so much on grayscale. Well, this is how you do it. It's just layer, 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 layer. I must be on my 6th, 7th layer now of this. Of going over it, and I just keep going over it. When I do my skin tones, I go this way. Then I'll go over it this way. Then I'll go over it this way. And then I'll go over it from top to bottom. And that way, you're filling in all that white gap. And it just gives them more, especially for skin, it gives a more seamless blend. I'm just going to give this bit more sharper edge. That's the edge of a nose. Have I still got people watching? Excuse me, I'm going to have to turn my page around because I can't. My wrists aren't very flexible. I'm just going to get the lighter colour again now and just basically go in the areas I feel it needs it. I'm sharpening up my edges. Where the natural definition, that's what I want to try and give now. Just so it doesn't look flat. It doesn't have to be much, just enough just to give it that look of that 3D effect, really. I'll go in here and just sharpen up the eyelids. I think the very blue face is coming into this. I think I might have to do the one off X-Men where she has the bright red hair. So I'm just going to go over it quickly this way. Just to try and fill in some more white areas, if there is any. Still only using a light touch. All my layers have been done light, where I'm holding my pencil halfway down and just lightly grazing the paper, turning the pencil as we go, just to blend it out better. I'm not too worried about the eyebrows because I'll be going over them in blue. I'll define them a bit more now. I mean, if anyone else knows a better way, you can give me tips. I'm always up for tips as well. Like I said, I'm by no means a professional, so everything I've done has been self-taught. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in and blend some of this out now with the Zest-It. I'm not really working too much into the dark, I'm just trying to bring a bit more of that light out. Just moving the light into the dark now, just to smooth it out that little bit more. You do have to be careful with this Zest-It sometimes though, because you can undo half of what you've just done. And a little bit goes a long way. I wouldn't suggest you stick the brush in and dump a load of liquid onto your pencil. It doesn't only need a tiny bit. See, I've overworked it a little bit too much there. Just fill that back in. And it's as easy as that if you do another little bit I've done too much of there. I'm just going to lighten this bit up a bit here. It's coming out a bit better now. You can use any form of blending, whichever you find easiest. Whether you've got a stump, I do have stumps. Whether you use a blender pencil or liquid, it's entirely up to you. And just keep working with it till you're happy with what you're looking at and that you think it's blended enough. Okay, now I'm quite happy with that now. So now I'm going to be using the Blue Horizon this one. So I'll just go through these. The lightest colour was Blue Heaven, and that is out of the Scorpion set. And then the next one was the Forget Me Not, and that was out of the Black Widow Spider set. And now I'm using Blue Horizon, and this is again out of the Scorpion set. So these blues are out of different sets. And all I'm going to do with the Blue Horizon, I'm just going to pick up the very darkest values, the B, which is just around the edge here, under here, just to give it some of that definition. And just keep your pressure extremely light. You don't want to be going in this part because you could quite easily ruin the work you've done. I'm going to go in here. Tidy up this eye a bit. Doesn't need too much of this. So for example, if I wanted to use my blender pencil, I could. Some people prefer to use these. And if you want to use both, you can. Sometimes I get a better effect with my blender pencil. The scratching sound goes through me. And it would be amazing if you'd all do me a big massive favour and share my feeds if you're liking what I'm doing. It would help my channel grow and I would really appreciate it. And that's all I ask, really. Sit on here. This is my hobby. I love doing it. And if you're enjoying what you see, share my page for me, please. And now I'm just going to work on the blends really now. And just get this nice and smooth. It's starting to look much better now. I'm my own worst critic. It could look really good and I would still think it looked rubbish. And terrible. But I bet we're all the same. I bet every one of us are the same. I'd love to just put some music on as I'm colouring, but I think you can get done for copyright if I put music on here. Is there anybody else around for chatting, or am I on my own? I got some lurkers. That's completely fine as well. Okay. Thinking she looks quite good now. The blends are blending out really well now. Okay, I think I'm happy with that now. So now I'm going to look at my reference photo. And I'm going to be going back in with the forget-me-not. So I'll just put the forget-me-not back up there so you know what I'm using. And this is what I'll be using to draw in the avatar shapes now. And just to keep my pencil extremely sharp for this bit. So I'm just going to put a V here because I want this to be it's not that one, it's the blue horizon I want back actually, so it just didn't look. It didn't look the right colour for a minute. That's tiredness setting in that now. And this bit is purely your own. I hate it when it does that. That's me being too heavy-handed. See what I'm doing there anyway. Again. You obviously don't like being pressed on too much, these pencils. I'm just extending my point down there. That's what I love about Emmanuel's books, because they can take some layers. They really can. I'm just colouring this in block colouring. There's no special way, just colouring it in up into the hairline. And then brushing off any fallout that's come of that. And it can be your own design. It doesn't have to be like mine. My problem is matching up when I do anything like this. It's making sure both the sides look the same. In fact, I feel like making them join. I think that looks better. And quite easily rub out these pencils as well. So if you do think something looks a bit funny or not quite right, I'm not even pressing down that hard. I don't know why they're breaking off every time I do it. Okay. So I'm bringing this. This is where I want to get the symmetrical part right. Don't think I've got that very symmetrical. I think it looks wrong. Just need to turn this. I think that's my problem. I'm not moving things around like I should do. Just rub some of that out. I'm not happy with that there. And all I do, just to fix that bit, back in with this. I'm still not happy with that. I think if I keep changing it, I'm going to end up ruining it, so more than it already is. So I think I better stop messing. Suppose they're not going to be perfect, are they? But I like being perfect too much, I think. Okay. One more sharpen. Come down the face. I'm going to carry this one round. You can hear the disappointment in my breathing when my pencil snaps. It's so frustrating. You think you've just shaved an inch off your pencil just to keep that sharp point. So let's just... You can see what I'm doing there, probably covering it up so you can't see. There we go. I think I like that. So that's the face finish for now. So we're just going to move on to pinks. So I'll just move these blues out of the way. Oh, I do want to, before I move on, I just want to go to Galaxy Blue, which is again out of the Scorpion set. And I'm just going to give this some definition just here. On each one of them. The paper's starting to break down a bit now. Need to be careful, really. Get that back. Okay. So now I want to do the lips. Which are these colours? So for the lips, we're going to be using Scorpion set Pig's Ear, Scorpion set Deep Purple, and the Spider set Forget Me Not. And the avatars would have the inside of the ears would be pink and the nose and the lips. So on this one we don't have the ears. So I'm just going to go just under here. And do the nose as it would. And where it goes darker, because I don't want the pink to be as bright, it's more of a bluey purple. So I'm using these just to build on the colours. That was the deep purple I just used. And now I'm using the Forget Me Not. Just to take that brightness down. But to get the desired colour. Let's go back to the pig's ear. There we go. And then the same with the mouth. I'm just going to give it a nice coating of pink. Just in small ovals. Just to cover the majority of that area. And then with the deep purple, just going to go where the lips join. Just basically here, I'm just following the grayscale of the picture and just putting in the definition where it's needed. I'm just going to go back in with the pink. And blend that out. And I just want to use Snow, which is just out of the skin set, and this is just the white basically. And I'm just going to highlight here. I don't really want to make it any pinker, I want a nice highlight here on the lips. Okay, and then we're going to move on to those beautiful luminous eyes. Just move all these out of the way. So for the eyes, we're going to be using from the Spider set Lemonade, from the Cobra set Gold, from the Cobra set Cobra, from the Scorpion set Olive Green, and the Scorpion set Dark Chocolate. Okay, So we're going to start off just by filling in the base layer of the eye. I'm not bothered too much about where they've naturally put their white dots because I'll put my own in where I want them. You can't put too much detail into these because purely they're only small. I would have loved them to be really big, but they've got this dark outline. If that was a bit lighter, I would have come out here and made them look really big. So I'm going to go in with, so that's lemonade, what I've just used in the Spardy set. And now I'm using olive green. And this is where I'm just going to put some random definition, making sure I'm following the curvature of the eye. As finely as possible. And I'm going to be using Cobra, the next colour. I'm working in the same area. Try and get you a bit closer. Just getting the webcam to focus. Is it focusing? So all I'm doing is going in between, just making very fine lines. Just giving the eye some definition. Obviously, if you had a bigger eye, you could make these eyes look amazing. But sometimes you've got to work with what you've got. Now I'm going to use gold. Brighten up round here. These pencils are not liking me today. Okay. They're not looking so very bright on mine. So I'm just going to go around the very edge now. And I don't want to give it a firm, round, sharp edge. So I'm just literally putting tiny little lines. Around the edges. See that? Working backwards and forwards. And sort of darken the top bit off. I'm going to go back in and pull some of that brown out with the lemonade. Same on both sides. And then just to give it that extra bit of pop, Got the Faber-Castell texture liners, highlighters. Is it picking up on that? And I'm just literally gonna, in a highlighted area, right in there, where the light would catch. I think that's the eyes done. So now I'm just going to finish off with my Stedler pigment liners. I'm just going to use this 0.2, which is a very, very fine nib. It's focusing on it. And I'm just going to do the finer detail of the eye. Again, this is just getting a steady hand. And the same on this side. Be very careful because you don't want to mess up the great work you've just done. And then we'll just put in some nice little why is that not wanting to colour on my page? A slightly smaller one. These eyelashes. This is the 0.5. It's so tiny, but perfect for eyelashes. These are not wanting to play on this. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to use my Uniball, see if that's a bit better. It's just a bit thick really for what I'm after. Must be the Zest-It because it's not, wasn't doing this before. Don't want to go overboard with the eyelashes and just fixing the pupils. Just let them dry. My pens don't want to play ball with me tonight. There we go. Let's give them some nice highlight. And I throw that in there. And for the finishing touches, I'm be using my puff paint. It's just from Dovecraft. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. And I'm just going to randomly follow Normally I'd use my white gel pen, but it's not playing. So just for today, I'll use this. Although this is not a bad. You can do whatever pattern you want. It's not. No right or wrong. Just do what you think you need to, or where you need to. I just don't like going overboard. And then with my stickles, it's just some glittery glue. I'm just going to go on there. Comes out. I'm going to give the blue lines a bit of sparkle because everyone loves sparkle. And the avatars are sparkly. There we go. And then I think I'll come back on a live feed and I'll finish her hair and her body on another day. But I hope. Let's just pull this up a bit. Hope you all like what I've done with her. And thank you for coming and spending a Sunday night with me, Shellarty. And I will see you all on another live feed. For now, good night, stay safe, stay in, and keep healthy and well. Thank you very much for watching, and keep an eye on my channel for the next part of this. If you do subscribe, tick the bell, and that will send you notifications of when I'm next live. I really do appreciate it. Anyone that's watched it, could you please share my live stream and subscribe to my channel? Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.